Showgirl Connection. I'm your host, Luann. So today I have two of my favorite friends with me, Terry and Dusty Ritter. They've been married 100 years. That's what I somewhere around there.
Yes.
And
yes.
I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about what shows you were in or what you're about, because I just want you to talk about it.
Okay.
I mean, I know you were in a lot of the shows, and I know that you're very involved in the Showgirl Legacies Foundation's presentations in the schools.
Right.
And
yeah.
you're part of the vision of the Showgirl Legacy Foundation as far as preserving the historic significance of the showgirl as a performing artist.
Mm-hmm.
And you do such an amazing job. I mean, weren't
Thank
you
you.
backstage at the Folies Bergère for many,
all the time.
many years?
Yeah. I would go in almost every night when Jerry Jackson, towards the last 5 years of the show. And I went in and I asked him, can I come back and paint the girls? And he said, sure, I give you carte blanche. Come backstage, take a sketch, whatever you want. And he's always been a really big support. So I did a big body of the Folies Bergère.
Yes.
So,
don't you have like a 50-foot mural?
And we did that.
Harry Reid National Airport of the Folies Bergère Can-Can Kick Line?
It's in the International Terminal, and it's 50 feet by 8 feet, and it lived in my living room
I remember
for 4
that.
years. And
Dusty, you're so patient.
yeah, I would be painting on it. He'd leave for work at like 6 o'clock, and I'd come back, and I'm still painting, and he goes, and I go, I say, are you done already? You know, that you lose track of time.
I mean, so that would be like 10 hours? You could work it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I was great that I could be there, and I didn't have to go anywhere, and I just scooted around the wall, and we had panels, and we added on, and Dusty helped a lot too, you know, and I had another friend, Rule James. He's a wonderful artist too. He helped me a lot with the mural. So,
well, I think it's near and dear to your heart as well, because you were in the Folies Bergère.
I was. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was in the Follies in the late 70s.
Okay.
So I'd actually come to Vegas the first time after the 72 Olympic trials. A friend of mine and I were in the trials, and we stopped here because his sister was in the Follies in 72. And she'd been in the Follies for a few years, so we stayed with her for a couple of weeks, and you know, that kind of made me fall in love with Las Vegas. So.
Well, so are you a gymnast?
I was an elite
dancer?
gymnast.
Okay.
You know, I graduated from UCLA. I was on the U.S. national team for 5 years. I competed several international meets around the world. And in 75, as chance would have it, Pan American Games trials, my grip broke on high bar, and I peeled off and blew my knee out.
Wow.
So a friend of mine and I drove back, and we stopped to visit Risa and Ron here in Las Vegas, and Ron talked me into auditioning for the Follies, even though I had a bad knee and couldn't really tumble or anything, you know. But they wanted to see me do high bar, so I got up on the high bar and did my Olympic routine, and next thing you know, I'm in the Folies Bergère, you know.
And is that when you and Terry met?
And I was in the Holiday Casino, or Harrah's. Well, it was Holiday Casino, Rocky Sinus's Wild World Burlesque, which I have a few pictures.
Ooh,
I
let's
need
see.
to show you, and that
Yeah.
was my first show.
So
And,
Dusty was in the Follies. You were in the Wild World of Burlesque.
well, Wild World, not so wild, you know, but there were like 6 dancers, and it was my first show. But I definitely want to show you my picture of Rocky Sinus, and these are his girls. His that's when we went to the second show, which was called the Roaring 20s. Like every 4 years, I was in that show for a long time. But Rocky.
Were you a singer and a dancer?
I was a dancer first,
Okay.
and then I was the understudy for the singer. And I used to paint everybody's cats and dogs and portraits backstage because there's a lot of time to paint.
So what, it
And
was
so-
$6.95 for
And-
2 drinks for the show.
And a show, a variety show.
Wow.
I mean, we had 2 acts and a band, and it was a great show. It was a great show. And this was the second. This is the second one. This is the Keep Smiling America of the same show. And I worked in that show off and on for almost
So it was
20 years.
similar to the Lido de Paris, where they had like 13 editions. So
Yeah.
this was this, you were staying
Yeah,
at the
another
same hotel,
edition. Right.
and then
right.
they'd swap out the show every year, every 2 years.
Like every 4 years,
Okay.
I think. So I.
Okay.
And this is also, it went from Holiday Casino to Harrah's, and
Wow.
it's still there. And this was the third. This is the second show. Yeah, the Roaring Twenties, and this was Keep Smiling America, the third show.
Here.
And
Okay.
but this was my first show, and I was learning so many things at that time. I had to learn how to tap,
Wow.
do stairs, props, hair. It's just
Yeah.
ridiculous. And I'd never been in a show before, so I had
But
to
you
learn.
do have dance background. And
No, I learned how to dance. I had 3 years of training before I got that job.
Wow.
But because it was the mob area, Rocky sent us. I went to the audition, and the choreographer is telling me, "You never come to an audition without your eyelashes and your fishnets." And I go, "What are they?" You know, I mean, I never been to an audition before, and but Rocky Senes loved me,
Nice.
and I did not get the job right away, but he had me come back and re-audition.
Nice.
And that's how I got into the show. And I learned how to dance literally after I had the show.
Wow. Okay.
And that's
And
basically.
then what about your voice? Did you take voice lessons?
I took lots of voice
Yeah.
lessons, and once I was in the show, and then later on, I did the understudy for Annie Mullen in the third show, and she left, so that was wonderful. I got to do the lead
Wow.
in that show, and I always wanted to sing, but
So you were in this show, and you were in the Folies Bergère, and then
Yeah.
how did you meet?
A friend of ours who's still close friends today introduced us.
yeah,
So-
and they have been married. Eva Sue and Manolo Meza.
Yeah.
They have been married as long as we have.
And they're the ones that introduced you.
Yeah.
You know, Las Vegas was a lot smaller then. It was
Yeah.
basically a small town, so everybody knew each other.
Yeah.
But I had a boat,
Yes,
so
that
we
was
could,
the draw.
we could go
Wow,
out to
Lake
the lake
Mead, yeah.
and go water skiing, which
So-
all of us in the Follies did that a lot.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, a
2 or
little
3 days a
fishing
week.
boat. And we'd all go out there, and he was a really good
So
water
he was
skier.
very popular with the
Yeah,
boat.
yeah,
Yes.
with the boat. He was very popular with the boat. But what sold me on him was that we're talking to each other in the water, and he's holding me up, in the water, and we're talking for a long time, and then he says, I need to stretch my legs, and he had been crouched down in the water for like 45 minutes, and he
Wow.
stood up. And I go, wow, that's pretty cool. So, yeah, that was like our first date, and
Nice.
we have been together ever since.
And we decided 50 years? It was 60,
Yeah.
We have
50 years?
this
But we're in our
December. We're going to have a big
50 years.
celebration. It will be 50. December 6th. It's going to be our 50th
wedding
together. So we're
anniversary.
going to have a big celebration with everybody.
Absolutely.
And I want.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, wait. Oh, John's giving me we need to take a commercial break. So
Okay.
give me the break.
All right.
Okay. So we'll be right back. Don't go away. And we're going to see more photos and hear more stories from Terry and Dusty.
Hi, my name is Edgar Alejandro. I'm the co-founder of Rising Again Productions. So we've been here in Vegas producing films for the past couple of years, and we've seen our fair share of studios. We've worked in our fair share of studios, and to be honest, WWDBTV has been our favorite by far. John is so welcoming. The space is wonderful. It's perfect for what we need. We've had rehearsals here, we've had callbacks here, we've had table reads here. So if you're a Vegas creative, or really just a creative coming into Vegas, definitely check out this space, chat with John. I think you'll find that this studio has everything that you'll need as well.
So we're back, and I'm with Terry and Dusty, and she was just going to show us this fabulous photo.
This is our wedding picture. We went to 5 years we've been together before we got married. And Rocky Senes gave me the reception, and I had my whole family in it, and he was so sick that day. It's like he did not make it down the aisle practically. He said not to talk about it, but you know.
Yeah, I remember
he
him specifically
really,
saying, "Don't bring up that I was sick."
He was so sick before the wedding, after the wedding, and
was
then
it your fear of commitment?
I think so.
I think so. I think so. But
For years we've tried to figure it all out, but we came to the conclusion I was just so damn nervous. You know?
And
here you are, 50 years later.
Yeah.
He did get a strong I do out, you know, so
that's good.
it happened. And then
yeah, you have some photos of a few of the other shows. Oh,
okay, and this is a picture of Dusty when he was in the Follies Bergère.
nice.
And
is that Dusty, right?
Yeah, Dusty, John
right.
Hart, and Gary Goldbart.
Oh,
So those are two guys that of the many people that heard I was in Las Vegas and came to visit me and wanted a job in the show once they saw it.
Yeah.
So what
we
was
had more
the name
people.
of your specialty act?
I did a high bar act. I was the principal acrobat in the show, so I did an actual like an Olympic high bar act on stage.
Plus they had
in addition to dancing
and
acrobating.
And they had to do the award-winning Can-Can of the Follies.
So you were
Bergère.
also dancing in the Follies in the Can-Can number.
That's true.
Yeah, he went to dance class too with me, and you know.
Well, before I came to Vegas, I was used to training like 8 hours a day,
as a gymnast.
as a Olympic gymnast, and so when I came here, you know, all these great dancers, you know, back in the day, and so I ended up going to dance class about 3 hours a day, just because that was my workout. That was, you know, for me it was so similar to my training that I spent a few years while I was in the show, you know, learning how to dance, doing ballet and jazz. So, you know, it helped a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, those wonderful transferable skills. I mean, heck, if you were an Olympic gymnast,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Ballet probably wasn't too foreign as far as.
No, it was very similar actually, and you know, even today I do yoga every day and at a fairly high level, and it's also very similar to what I'm used to. So
yeah,
it's all kind of the same thing, just a little different.
A little variation on a theme.
Yeah,
right.
variation on a theme.
Yeah.
So after work, it would be party at the Ritter house. So
Really?
everybody from the Follies would come over, and my friends from my show. And yeah, it was a party.
Nice.
We had more people live with us, stay with us, come looking for work for a lot of gymnasts.
Yeah.
So once Dusty was in, he's got a slew of friends and people like Bo Ramos. You probably know him from the Follies Bergère.
I know the name. I don't know him. Yeah.
He passed away. He was in it, and
Well, that's
Rick
the difference
Garcia.
between the old Vegas era with the mob and today's Vegas. They're really two
Yeah.
completely different cities. Like they always talk about Vegas being a 24-hour town, but it's really not anymore.
No, it isn't.
And in our era, it was 24 hours a day. I mean, the Follies, we had a softball team that played in a 4 a.m. league, so we would
Wow.
get off work
Yeah.
at 2, party until 4, go play softball, and then come home, get in the boat, and go to the lake.
Yeah.
You know,
Back
and
in
then
the day, right? when
repeat
we-
the same thing over the next day.
6 nights
Hang
a week,
out at
2
the
shows a night,
brewery.
3 on Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
hang out the
Jubilation.
bridge and Jubilation.
Yes.
That's where I got really good on my turns, you know, and at the brewery and Jubilation.
Yeah. Oh, those were great times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then I did
so you
a
had-
show. I left the Holiday Casino. I'd been there for 3 years. I went to do Jerry Jackson's pinups at the movies.
Oh, yeah.
And this is a picture from Hooray for Hollywood. And Sandy Castell, which John knows very well.
The man behind the camera.
Yes. And we did. That's when we were here before. She's done a lot of production.
Is Sandy the one in the middle?
Yes. She was a singer.
Okay.
And that's where I met her. And we're still friends today. In fact, I just saw her recently. And
See those wonderful connections, you know, the show people connections. Are,
yeah, I try to stay together with everybody I know, and as much as I can.
Yeah.
And I also did pictures from that. I did. This was a Christmas card. Hooray for
Nice.
Hollywood.
Oh,
From-
because that almost looks like Follies Bergère hats, but that's Hooray
Yeah,
for
it does, huh?
Hooray for Hollywood.
But it was Jerry Jackson's production, so it was his design.
Okay.
Like from that. So I just had a really great time with that one, and I think I did. What did I do? I went back. I did some other shows. I went to Naughty Ladies. I did.
Just the
This
Naughty
is
Ladies? Oh.
but this is Bourbon Street Review. This was later on, and I at the
Penny
Bourbon Street
France?
Review.
Penny France?
Penny Francis, yes.
Okay.
And it was and so I painted a shirt. This is all of us, the picture of us, and I painted a
Oh, I
picture
love
of
that.
us. You know,
Oh.
so that's
You capture the movement and the
Yeah.
energy, and your
Am I
art
going
is so
wrong? There
whimsical.
we
I
go.
love it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was always painting backstage too. While I was there, I was
Yeah.
wherever I went, I would paint sheets. I would paint whatever. And my friends in the show would get up, and we stayed out there 6 nights a week because we had 3 shows a day, and we sang and danced. I mean, at the end of the day, my throat was like, I felt like it was coming down with a cold every day, you know,
And
every
dry,
night.
And we've got that
Yeah,
dry
yeah.
air.
So 3 shows back to back, 6 nights a week,
Oh,
and then
you
we
did 3
drive
shows 6 nights a
3.
week.
Yeah,
We just did 3 on Saturday.
mm-hmm. Yeah, me
2
too.
shows.
In other shows, but this
Yeah.
one, and fast changes. You're on and off, and that's how Penny France worked too. And but so many talented people in that show. Lucy Lucille and Vivian Ross. I mean, all of them. They're really a great show. Plus, it was over a bar,
Oh, wow.
and the show we had tape music, and sometimes where you got the roar of the blenders going, and clang 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 of the slot machines, and that's all. And we're up on stage here,
Wow.
and they're in front of us, and sometimes the sound would go out. And you're just
So you just kept
standing
dancing?
there.
Oh.
You're just standing there. I singing, I love a piano, I love a piano, and then it stopped. And so I just threw a little time stamp, you know, and hey, where are you from? You know, until the music started again.
Oh, wow.
So,
That was the show that I was lighting.
Oh,
I was
yes.
the lighting director at the Legends in Concert show at the
Okay,
time.
yeah.
So
and he came out and lit the whole show for us.
I would finish the Legends show at midnight, and then I would drive 90 miles to Laughlin,
Mm-hmm.
check into a room, get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and go into the lounge and
Light the show.
light the show for until from 8 to 4, and then drive back to Vegas and do the Legends show, 2 shows
And this was the Penny France show out
Yeah.
in Laughlin.
in Laughlin,
Yeah.
right? So, so
Wow.
I did that every day for 6 weeks. So, and it was funny because she described the room with all the stuff going on with the bartenders and stuff, but they had one spotlight which I had to program remotely to do the work, and I had to program all the moving lights to follow the dancers across stage
From Laughlin.
while I was
remote-
lighting the
I
show
mean,
in Laughlin. Yeah,
They
For
had
the Laughlin
back
show.
then, what was
Yeah,
that? Back in
yeah.
the
they had some new
80s or
stuff.
90s?
Yeah, that was in the 80s.
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 Okay.
Uh-huh.
So
So,
yeah,
yeah.
It was quite a interesting production that
plus,
And
was
so
very
by that,
good. Turned out to be a very good show, but you know,
so by that time you transitioned out of the Follies
I
into
had,
production.
yeah.
I had gone into stage work, and originally I was a stage manager with the Imperial Palace when it first opened, and we had a show called Bravo Vegas in there, which was a Carrie Laspina show. And,
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I was stage manager for that because having been in the Follies, I knew how shows were supposed to run. I could direct the crew and knew when the dancers were coming on and off and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
became stage manager, but then, I was an art major in college, and I, eventually found myself up in the light booth lighting the show.
So we did lighting and
So I did lighting for 30 years, and
Wow.
before I
Yeah.
moved on to my next thrill.
So what John's saying, we need to take one more commercial break. So hold that thought. We'll move on from your first 30 years to your second 30 years.
Yeah.
And we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Country roads take me home to the place where I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama. Comes a triple yodel, I-D-yodel-ay, oh, the little oh, oh, wee.
So we are back with Terry and Dusty, and we're going to continue on with, I think Dusty was talking a little bit about his first 30 years. Now we're going into his second 30 years, and then will we go into your third 30 years, or do we?
I'm in that now.
And we have children along the way there,
That's
too.
right.
So
Don't you have 2 boys?
I have 2 boys and 4 grandchildren now.
Oh,
So
that's wonderful.
I just that's it. That's it for me. The grandchildren. So,
I don't have grandchildren yet, but I've heard that
yes,
they
you
are
will.
wonderful.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, go ahead, Dusty. What we were,
no,
you
I,
went into
obviously
lighting.
I came from the gymnastics world, and I actually competed until I was 27 years old. So I was kind of older when I went in the Follies, and
Older at
and I
27.
had just blown.
Yeah.
I know.
Well,
Yeah.
for a
And-
gymnast,
Yeah.
that's old. But anyway, I knew my career wouldn't be that long because my body wouldn't take it. So first thing, I started a gymnastics school, one of the very first gymnastics school in town here.
In Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas.
Wow.
I sort of got the gymnastics program going in Nevada. And
Yeah.
and then I, ran my school during the day from 10 to 6, and then I went to work every night from 6 to midnight at the show as a lighting director. And
You did
I did that
different-
31 years, and then
Wow.
and then I
And the
got an
shows?
opportunity to move on from that and retire, and I became one of the men's program directors for USA Gymnastics. So I ran the Olympic program and coached the national team for the last 12 years, and produced our current Olympic team from
Yes.
the time they were 10 or 12 years old.
He revised the book, the rules book, and had been working with them for
That was kind of a
since
dream
they were
come true.
young.
Yeah.
And they won
Congratulations.
Yeah.
this time, first time in 20 years.
Under your tutelage.
Yes.
Well, I raised
I
them
did.
all up as juniors from
Uh-huh.
10 years old to 18, and basically I directed their development, and it was for the 2024 and 2028 Olympics. So that's how far in advance you have to think about where the sport is going and what's going to be required from an athlete,
Yeah.
to win a medal at the Olympics.
Wow.
So that was really my passion, I would say the show business was a lot of fun, and it
Paid the
was
bills.
great for us to raise a family, and
Yeah.
it was good work, and we had, I was able to use a lot of my creative instincts. But gymnastics was always my true passion, and I was very fortunate to have the opportunity to do what I did
keep
with
it
the
all
sport.
going,
So,
yeah. And
Yeah.
we had a school for 20 years too, gymnastics school too. So.
So did you were you running everything out of Vegas? Because I know you spent time in California as well.
We do now, but yeah, during that period of time, I was traveling around the country,
Okay.
probably 2 weeks out every month, going to various training camps and high-level competitions and tryouts and international meets. It was a morning till night job,
Yeah.
7 days a week. So managing mostly what I did when I wasn't at a training camp or taking kids around the world on an international meet. Mostly what I did was work with the coaches. So
Okay.
on their training programs, because the kids come from gyms all over the country. So I set up the training programs, and then I coordinated with all the coaches around the country who were developing the athletes that were on the national team. So in a nutshell, that was
Yeah.
that was
That's
my
impressive.
role. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's that continuation of that dedication and commitment that us as performers and entertainers and athletes,
that's very true.
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you just
It's discipline and work ethic and commitment, and a lot of belief in what
yeah,
you're doing.
yeah, a lot of faith.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's yeah.
So you never know where life's going to lead you, I mean, I moved here with my family when I was 17.
Oh,
and
you
I-
did? You came to Vegas when you were 17?
Yes, and my dad was in the Army, and he had just gotten out, a 20-year service, and this is where we ended. And I went to Valley High School. It's a
Wow.
2-lane highway. I lived down almost a Boulder highway, and a house we had there, and I'd take the bus. I'm in my senior year at high school. And I didn't know anybody. I'm a new girl again, and but I have been here ever since. I've been here
Wow.
for 50 years, but you never know where life's going to lead you,
Yeah.
and
And it seems like a lot of us that came to Vegas, like I came here after college and I stayed. It's just such a great town.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a big city, but it's still a small town and
Yeah.
community within our.
Well, I
And
think
especially
yeah.
then, we had 350,000 people
Yeah.
or whatever, and you can
Yeah.
drive up and down the strip. I mean, I had a little blue Volkswagen, and I had a boyfriend at the Sands. I'd go visit him all the time, and I wanted to be a lifeguard, but they didn't have girl lifeguards.
Oh, they do.
But anyway, yeah, it was a great time to be there, and I just fell into everything. Like I said, I had never danced before, but I went to a ballet, and at UNLV, and they came out to greet us, and I just loved the way they looked.
Yes.
I go, I don't know
I know
what
we
you have
both,
to
like,
do.
when you said that, we both kind of,
Yeah,
we all
we
stood up a
stood
little
up.
taller, the posture in ballet.
I just loved the way they looked. I go, that's what I want to do. And so I started taking dance classes. I found backstage, and of course you learn from the best of the
Yes.
best there. So
I think that all of us, as performers, though, we look back on it and we kind of think, in some respects, it's like, well, I don't know how I ever thought I could do that. I don't know how I ever, where did that come from?
Yeah.
And I think it's because when you love something so much, you tend to just, and we all did it. We tend to you manifest what your dream is, and that's what we all did. We manifested our dream.
Yeah.
Somehow it came true. You know.
Yeah.
But when you look back and you say, well, was that a logical decision at the time? No, it wasn't. It was just you took a flyer, because the opportunity was there and you just reached out and grabbed it.
Oh, and there was so much opportunity back in the day in Las
Yeah.
Vegas for performers and entertainers. I mean, we still had to be, we were the best of the best. I mean,
Yes.
we competed with people from all over the world to be in those shows. But it was a great time to be in those shows.
Yeah, oh, it was. And for me, with the art, I'd always been told how good I was, and I had I got a Hummel card from my art teacher when I was like 9 years old, and it was an A+. And she said, "You really have a lot of talent." And I go, I know. Yes, I do. Whether I did or not, I don't know. But at 9 years old, but
So you've been
I've
painting
always
and
been,
drawing since you were 9.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I know you brought some of your paintings with you today. Maybe you can talk a little bit about those as well.
Sure. The ones in the middle, I thought were appropriate. Who's Got the Pain? Who's Got the Pain from Bob Fosse and Glenn Vernon. They did a whole number there, and I kind of stop frame a piece of it, and that's how I paint from pictures.
Okay.
And the one below that is from a picture. It's probably well known. But they're black and whites, and I just thought,
Love it. Yeah.
who's got the pain in this era right now? Yeah, we got a lot of pain here. So, no politics. He said,
I think
no
Dusty was like punching you under
Yeah.
the table.
Yeah. And the one on the right is from
I love
the
that
Red
collection.
Boas. It's part of a triptych. And
Yeah, what are there, 3 or 4 of them?
the three.
3,
Yeah,
triptych,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And I just brought one of them. And that was going to be selected maybe for the airport. I had to show them a couple of things they wanted for a 50-foot place that was being built in the claims area, the new terminal. A showgirl, something to do about about Vegas
Yeah,
showgirls.
yeah.
So that I brought them that, the triptych, and also the yellow boas. That's
Okay.
the one they chose, which I did in the airport.
Oh, and I think there's room to have the red boas somewhere in the airport as well.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I need.
Those
Yeah.
are great. Yeah.
And that was from the Tropicana, the Follies Bergère. And
Okay.
the girls who modeled and are actual people that were in the show there. Terry and Sherry, which
Yes.
are going to be on your show soon too. They were in the mural, and there's quite a few of them that were.
Yeah.
And it was 3-dimensional. And the ones on the left, the upper small one, is some Sweet Charity,
Oh.
and that is, I did a series of them from the movie Sweet Charity with Shirley MacLaine and the 2 other girls that I can't think of their names right now. But so I have a whole body of work up from Sweet Charity of that. So I
Nice.
just brought that one.
Yeah.
And the one below is more of a surreal, environmental. I mean, I want to do more things like that.
Yeah,
And
it's almost,
to
trying to
and-
think of the style. It's almost a vintage,
yeah, but
a very
color.
roaring 50s or something. It's,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love your stuff.
So I just brought a few things that I have, and I have some affirmation books too that I'll show you. But
Nice.
and that's
yeah.
what I've been trying to do mostly.
Oh, and these 2 down
Oh yes,
front.
yes,
I
they're
love
from
these.
the Black Hats. They're from the Follies Bergère too. I would go backstage, and they would pose for me, or like the one on the left is a backstage uh, picture that I painted from, and the ones they would pose for me too, and with choreography or whatever. And so the best girls, and I also am still in touch with all of them today,
Yes.
and like all of us.
It's that connection, right? I mean, we all are still connected and spend time with each other, and
Nobody
still
had
are
a life
creative.
like
you're,
us.
you're still
Yeah.
so creative, Terry. I mean,
Yeah.
you will be your whole life. And the Showgirl Legacy Foundation has just a small collection of costumes, but this is the hat
Yes.
from the
Uh-huh.
painting that Terry
Yeah.
painted. So
Yeah. So we had a great life, and we were a family. I mean,
Yes.
6 days a week,
oh yeah,
2 shows or 3 shows a night. And then on your only day off, you usually spent time with each other.
that's right.
So,
Yeah, we did. We probably spent more time with our family than we did.
mm-hmm,
I mean, with our backstage family than we did with our real family.
right.
Yeah.
And we had children in there too. I mean, that's one thing about working for Rocky Senes. I had insurance. We had a 401k plan. I mean,
Nice,
you
yeah.
know, and I was there off and on for 20 years. So,
20 years?
hmm
I didn't realize
and
that.
when it closed, he died a year later, and so did his wife die a year after that. Yeah, after we
Wow.
closed.
Huh.
So, but we had a good run, and we had a great. It was a great show, and he is my son's godfather, Chase.
Nice.
Chase Raymond Ritter. So, and then we had children in that time too. You know,
Mhm.
that was a great thing. And we stayed till we were busting out of our
That's
costume,
right. That's right.
and then we come back and we're still not ready for our costumes. You know, and he was just a wonderful man. And so was Jerry Jackson.
Yes.
And he's still alive, but
Yes.
he's already 88 now.
Jerry Jackson's 88.
88. So, yeah, both of us, we love Jerry. And we go visit him. We went to visit him last year.
Yeah, I visit
Me
him
too.
occasionally too.
Yeah.
In fact, I visit Pete Menefee and Jerry Jackson, and we go out to lunch together.
We should
Pete-
try to do that.
Yeah, because
again.
Pete and Jerry performed together when they were teenagers.
I didn't know that.
And they live
yeah.
like 2 miles away from each other.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I
we
didn't
get
know.
together for lunch.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So we've been blessed. And my advice always to people want to get in showbiz or want to do something, just say yes. Just say yes, and you will figure out how to do the job. Because every job I've ever had, I got the job first, and then I learned how to do it. You know.
Yeah, it
so
sounds like you did, because a lot of us
dancing,
had a lot more dance
the
training before we
mural,
came into
you
the
know,
shows
I
than
never
you
did a
did.
mural before, you know.
Yeah.
But I said, well, I had help. My friend Kathy Cupid says, yeah, let's give him a proposal. And I go, well, I've never done a mural before. But she said, oh, you can do it. And I go, okay.
Oh, and you did a fabulous job. Wow.
And
You're
so-
such an inspiration to the students at the Las Vegas Academy of the Arts, too, because you've been with us. We're in our 19th year.
I can't believe that.
And
You've had some great artists come out of
And,
there.
and
man.
and for you to come and talk to the students about what it's like to be a professional painter and to give them tips on painting,
Mhm.
it's just been
think,
so
yeah.
wonderful to have you involved as well.
Well, it's been great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pleasure too. And I love what you're doing.
Oh,
you know,
thank you. Yeah.
Helping the
Well,
arts
we all love it, right? I mean, it's all
in
part
our
of our
blood.
life, and our passion is in our blood. So, John, are we coming up to the end of the show? Oh, he's
Wrap it
given
up.
us the wrap it up sign. Thank you both so much for coming in.
Oh, it's
I'm
been a
s-
pleasure. I'm glad
so-
we did.
Yeah, I mean, we've been friends for a very long time, and I'm so glad that you're still painting and that you're still married and still together.
We're still married. And the children too. I mean, now everything is around them, you know, two great sons, and they're doing really well. They're great fathers, and 4 grandchildren, you know, so we're up and down the highway all the time with them, and I'm doing some artwork for that too. So,
Wonderful.
you know,
Well, hopefully we'll see you April 24th. Put April 24th on your calendar. That's our 19th annual Showgirl art presentation at the Las Vegas Academy of the Arts.
okay.
And
Yes,
we'll
we'll be in touch.
absolutely. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you at the next Showgirl Connection.
Ale.